Whether you want to enhance your productivity or get an immersive gaming experience, ultra-wide monitors can be the best option. They offer ample screen space for multitasking or gorging on the game visuals. Hello guys, in this video we're looking at the 5 best ultra-wide monitors of 2022. And if you want more information, we also put the links in the description box down below. Thanks. Starting our list with number 5, we've got the Sceptre C305B. The 30-inch Sceptre C305B ultra-wide curved gaming monitor is based on a VA panel, so you get a high contrast ratio of 3000:1, covering 90% of the sRGB color space. Though the viewing angles aren't as wide, you'll still be able to look at the screen at most angles without the image shifting in color and contrast. The pixel response time of VA panels isn't as quick as that of the IPS models, especially when it comes to transitioning from deep blacks to other colors, which results in the noticeable trailing of fast-moving objects. The response time speed isn't quick enough to keep up with its high 200Hz refresh rate, so you will notice more black smearing when your FPS exceeds 144 FPS. However, keep in mind that this will vary from game to game and your own sensitivity to motion blur and ghosting. You can simply limit the refresh rate to 120Hz or 144Hz, which still provides a massive boost in responsiveness and motion clarity as opposed to 75Hz. The 200Hz refresh rate as a bonus may not look great in all games, but in certain other games it will work perfectly. Further, the Sceptre C305B supports AMD FreeSync and VRR works with compatible NVIDIA cards. However, you might encounter some brightness flickering with VRR enabled. Its FreeSync range is 48 to 200 Hz over DisplayPort, while the HDMI ports are limited to 165 Hz for HDMI 2.0 and 75 Hz for HDMI 1.4 ports. The Sceptre C305B has a curved screen of 1800R, which adds a bit of depth and immersion to the viewing experience. The stand is tilt-only, but you can mount the screen using the provided VESA mount adapter. Connectivity options include DisplayPort 1.2, HDMI 1.4, HDMI 2.0, a headphone jack, and dual 3-watt built-in speakers. There are also 2 red LED strips at the back of the monitor as well for a notable look. Overall, if you're looking for a new ultra-wide monitor, we highly recommend you save up at least for the Sceptre C305B, as it offers extraordinary value for the money. Next, with number 4, we've got the Gigabyte G34WQC. Based on a VA panel with a superior contrast ratio of 4000:1, the Gigabyte G34WQC ultra-wide monitor delivers true blacks with vivid details in the shadows and highlights of the image. The colors aren't quite as accurate and consistent as that of the IPS models, but they are vivid and gorgeous nonetheless. In fact, the monitor has a wide 90% DCI-P3 color gamut, so the colors will be more saturated and lifelike. Alternatively, you can use the provided sRGB emulation mode if you want a more accurate color representation. Add to that the 3440 by 1440 pixel screen resolution, and you get an incredibly immersive image quality with the 4ms response time speed. Moving on, the Gigabyte G34WQC supports AMD FreeSync with a 48 to 144 Hz VRR range. However, some units of the monitor will have brightness flickering when FreeSync is enabled. The brightness flickering is most noticeable if your frame rate fluctuates a lot and when it dips around 48 FPS and triggers LFC. This mostly occurs in-game menus and loading screens, but not all units have this issue though. And note that MBR and FreeSync cannot be active at the same time. Other features include HDR 400 support, PBP support, shadow control, gain color, pre-calibrated picture presets, and crosshair overlays. The stand of the monitor is sturdy and offers height adjustment up to 100mm, -5 to 20 degree tilt, and 100 by 100mm VESA mount compatibility. Connectivity options include 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, 2 DisplayPort 1.4 inputs, a headphone jack, and 2 2-watt integrated speakers. In short, in case you want a big 34-inch ultra-wide monitor with crisp image quality and plenty of screen space, the Gigabyte G34WQC is the most cost-effective display, as it also offers a high 144 Hz refresh rate. Next up at number 3, we've got the LG 49WQ95C. The LG 49WQ95C features a nano IPS panel with a wide 98% DCI-P3 color gamut coverage and a provided sRGB emulation mode. Further, it has a peak brightness of 400 nits and a 1000:1 contrast ratio, which is standard for an IPS panel display. This also means that you won't get a noteworthy HDR viewing experience. For that, you'll have to opt for a different form factor. The pixel response time speed is fast enough to keep up with the 144 Hz refresh rate, so you get a responsive gaming experience with a variable refresh rate of up to 144 FPS. Other features include color weakness mode, HDR10, crosshair, AMD FreeSync Premium Pro, black stabilizer, G-Sync compatible, color calibrated on-screen control, and smart energy saving. The stand of the monitor is sturdy and offers height adjustment up to 110mm, -5 to 20 degree tilt, -15 to 15 degree swivel, and 100 by 100mm VESA mount compatibility, while the screen has a light matte anti-glare coating and a subtle 3800R curvature. Connectivity options include two HDMI 2.1 ports, a DisplayPort 1.4, a USB-C, a dual USB 3.0 hub, a headphone jack, and dual 10-watt integrated speakers. Overall, if you want a 49-inch at 5120 by 1440 pixel super ultra-wide monitor for both color critical work and gaming, the LG 49WQC is hard to beat. At number 2, we've got the Alienware AW3423DW Quantum OLED Curved Monitor. Alienware's 34 Quantum OLED is one of the very few gaming monitors to receive such a stellar score from us, and it's no surprise. Dell has nailed the OLED panel on this screen, and it's absolutely gorgeous for PC gaming. Although this monitor isn't perfect, it is dramatically better than any LCD-based monitor by several gaming critical metrics. What that 34-inch 21:9 aspect ratio panel can deliver in either of its HDR modes, HDR 400 True Black or HDR Peak 1000, is nothing short of exceptional. The 3440 by 1440 native resolution image it produces across that gentle 1800R curve is punchy and vibrant. With 99.3% coverage of the demanding DCI-P3 color space and fully 1000 nits brightness, it makes a good go, though that brightness level can only be achieved on a small portion of the panel. There's so much depth, saturation, and clarity to the in-game image thanks to that per-pixel lighting, but this OLED screen needs to be in HDR mode to do its thing, and that also applies to SDR content as well. The HDR Peak 1000 mode enables that maximum 1000 nit performance in small areas of the panel, but actually looks less vibrant and punchy most of the time. The panel is actually over-provisioned with pixels by about 20 in both axes, providing plenty of leeways, and it's a little like the over-provisioning of memory cells in an SSD, and it allows Alienware to prevent static elements from burning into the display over time. Latency is also traditionally a weak point for OLED, and while we didn't sense any subjective issue with this 175 Hz monitor, there's little doubt that if your gaming fun and success hinges on having the lowest possible latency, there are faster screens available. You can only achieve the full 175 Hz with a single DisplayPort input too. In the end, the Alienware 34 Quantum OLED's response time is absurdly quick at 0.1 milliseconds, and it cruised through our monitor testing suite. There's no HDMI 2.1 on this panel, however, so it's probably not the best fit for console gaming as a result, but this is PC Gamer, and if you're going to hook your PC up to a high-end gaming monitor, we'd recommend it be this one. The last product on our list is the Samsung Odyssey G9. The Samsung Odyssey G9 has an impressive 5120 by 1440 screen resolution, a 240 Hz refresh rate, 1 ms GTG response time, and display HDR 1000 certification. It features an even wider 32:9 aspect ratio with a 49-inch diagonal, which is equivalent to two 27-inch monitors put side by side but without the bezels in between them. Additionally, the monitor uses a quantum dot-enhanced film to extend its color gamut to 95% DCI-P3 for striking colors with 10-bit depth. Moving on, the monitor supports AMD FreeSync Premium Pro over DisplayPort, which allows HDR and VRR to work simultaneously and without any added input lag. FreeSync also works with NVIDIA cards, and the monitor is officially certified as G-Sync compatible by NVIDIA. Note that to get 240 Hz, you will need a graphics card that supports display stream compression over DisplayPort 1.4. Otherwise, you'll be limited to 120 Hz at 5120 by 1440 pixels. Other features include customizable crosshairs, low input lag mode, black equalizer, and pre-calibrated picture presets for FPS, RTS, RPG, and AOS games. The Samsung G9 has a sturdy design with a premium feel, while the ergonomics include up to 120mm height adjustment, -5 to 20 degree tilt, -15 to 15 degree swivel, and 100 by 100mm VESA mount compatibility. Connectivity options are quite abundant and include 2 DisplayPort 1.4 inputs, HDMI 2.0 headphone jack, and 1 upstream plus 2 downstream USB 3.0 ports. The HDMI port on this gaming monitor is limited to 5120 by 1440 pixel at 60 Hz or 3840 by 1080 pixel at 120 Hz, but it supports HDR. Thanks for watching. That's all for now, and hope all of you guys enjoy the video. Thanks.